everyone. So in today's video we are going to discuss how to use some query functions such as searching the maximum value and minimum values. So basically what we have here is our question set number 21, which is a continuation on the question set number 19, where the data from that is taken to answer these questions. So our first question which we have here: what is the highest mark obtained in the first term mathematics subject? So let's answer this in our ADSQL.
So our first question is to find the highest marks in first term mathematics. So let's write this query in subquery format. So we're going to select the max student mark from the student exam mark record table. So mark, and then from that we take the value from the student exam mark record table, where the student exam mark record exam mark record the exam. So here we're taking the term ID in our exam mark record table, and then we open up a subquery in select. So selecting here, from here we're going to select the exam terms tables term ID column. So we're taking this from our exam term table, where the exam term name is the first term. Alright, close the bracket. Then we taking our student exam mark record table, and then we are taking in the subject ID. So subject underscore subject ID in. So here we are selecting the subject ID from the subject table, from subject, where the subject name is mathematics. Alright, so let's run this query, and we get our first answer. Alright, so let's move on to our next question.
And our second question: what is the highest mark obtained in the second term science subject? Alright, so let's answer this.
So what we have to find is the highest mark in our second term science subject. So we can do this using our previous subquery format which we used earlier, but this time I'm going to show how to execute it using the join method. So basically we are going to inner join. So we are selecting the maximum value from the student exam dot mark underscore mark record. So we are taking the maximum value of the column mark which we have there. So where the student exam mark record so we are going to inner join this, join exam term on student exam mark record. So here we are in the exam term is equal to exam underscore term dot term ID. Alright, then we are going to inner join in our subject on the same table, our main table, student exam mark record dot subject underscore subject ID, where the subject table's subject ID is linked to them. Alright, so here now we are going to add in our where clause, and now we are going to find in a condition here. So from our exam term, the term name should be the second term, so within single quotation marks, second term, and subject dot subject name is science. So going to run this, and we have the mark for science. So second term, what we are looking for, the mark is science. So it should be here somewhere, 95. So here the subject number 3, subject number 2. So this is the highest mark for science. So let's move on to our next question.
Our third question: what is the highest mark obtained by the students for all the subjects in the second term? Alright, let's answer this now.
So we need to find the highest mark obtained by all the students for all the subjects in the second term. So the highest mark means it's a select max query. So we can do this as a subquery. So select the student exam mark record tables mark record tables mark, and then from that table student exam mark record, yeah, the student exam mark record exam term ID column. We are going to write a subquery in there. So in select exam score term dot term ID from exam term, where the term name is second term dot term name is equal to second term. So I think the highest value in the second term should be 98.5 marks. Let's run this and see. So there's a small error in our code. It says okay, alright, so let's see if our code is correct. Select max. Okay, so change this to from. Okay, and we run it, and so we get the answer 98.5. So this is correct. Let's move on to our next question.
Moving on to our fourth question: which subject got the highest marks in the second term? So let's answer this in our Hedy SQL.
So we need to find which subject got the highest marks. So let's start. So we need the subject name from the subject table first. So that's what we are going to take from subject, where the subject ID subject dot subject ID. So here we are opening some queries in select on the student exam mark record table So here we are taking the subject ID, subject underscore subject ID from student exam mark record where the student exam mark record ID dot mark. So student exam mark record dot mark. Let's take this to a new line, so we can split this. Alright, so from that mark we are going to open another subquery again. So in select, so here we are going to select the maximum value from the student exam mark record tables mark column. Alright, so from student exam mark record, so here we are going to take the term ID. So record dot exam term ID, and then another subquery. So here we are going to select the exam term tables term ID from exam term where the exam term name term dot term name is equal to second term. So since we opened 3 subqueries, I'm going to close all 3 of them and click on run, and we have the subject name. So that is it for the 4th question. Let's move on to our next question.
So on to our 5th question. Find the details of the student who got the highest marks in the second term.
So since we're finding the details of the student who got the highest marks in the second term, we need to select everything basically from their table. So the index number, student, then the student first name, student dot first name, student dot last name, student's gender, student's contact number, contact number, and then the class name. So class dot class name. Alright, so these are the details which we are going to find. So we are going to find this all from the student exam mark record table. So we are going to do this as a in a join, so using join queries basically. So inner join our student table. So if you are taking our student table, it's basically for the index. So student exam mark record student index number, and we are equaling that to the student table's index number. Alright, next we are going to join in our exam term on student exam record dot exam term ID and then again we are going to inner join the class on students class underscore class ID, the class dot class ID. Alright, where, so now we are going to start with the where clause, where the student exam. So considering this table student exam mark record, we are going to open in a subquery to select the max. So the max student exam mark record dot mark. Okay, so we are taking this from the student exam mark record table, and again our next data is going to be taken from that too, where we take the student exam mark records tables. So here we're supposed to write mark here. Alright, so student exam mark record exam mark record dot exam term ID. So in here we are going to select the exam term dot term ID from exam term, and here we are going to take our term name. So from exam where exam term where exam term dot term name is equal to second term. So here we opened up only two subqueries, so two brackets here, so I'm going to close it and search for our value, and we have the details here. So we are going to head on to our next question.
And our final question, find the details of the student who got the highest marks in the mathematics in the first term examination and the class in which she is studying. Alright, so let's answer this final question.
So here what we need to find are the student details like we did in the last one. So here we're going to take the index number, then the student's first name, the student's last name dot last name, then the student dot gender, and the student's class. So class dot class name. Alright, so we're taking these all from the student exam mark record. So here we are going to join in our student table on student exam mark record, student exam mark record. So here when we join this to, the only relationship which we can see is the index number. So here we're going to take our index numbers and link them. Alright, so next we are going to join in the class table on on the student dot class ID. So we have class underscore class ID. Alright, where the student exam mark record dot mark in select max. So what we are selecting now is the mark. So what we are finding the mark in specifically from student exam mark record, where now we are taking a subject ID. Subject ID. We are opening up a subquery. So here from the subquery we are going to select the subject ID. From subject, where the subject name is mathematics. Alright, and then we're taking the term ID, student exam mark record, exam term ID in select exam term ID from the exam term, where the exam term's term name. So basically we are taking the term name here and it's the first term. So we will write first term within single quotations. Alright, and going to click on run. Line 11. Alright, so we will run this. Subject ID. Okay, so here we have our answer. So that is it for this video on how to use our subqueries and how to find the maximum and minimum values these functions in our SQL book. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching.